I am coming from a different perspective today because I wanted to share with you guys how I pack for a scrapbooking crop. This is my second crop for ever. I went to one back in 2019, and because of COVID, of course I didn't do 2020, and this year I'm going to be doing two of them, and my first one is coming up in a couple of days. So I wanted to share with you what supplies I bring with me and how I plan for it. And of course, you know, everyone does it a little bit differently. My first crop, I actually brought a ton of stuff. And I know you probably see chaos in front of me right now, but it's actually quite organized chaos. And I realized that a lot of the stuff I brought I didn't really need, and I ended up not using. So I'm being a little more strategic this time and have planned ahead on what projects I actually want to complete. I have been making my way through a lot of my just regular scrapbooking pages and my project life, and for this specific crop I've decided that I'm going to finish my 2017 albums, and that is inclusive of 12 by 12s as well as my project life albums. So I've actually done a number of my 2017 pages already, as you guys have seen on my channel. I do have about 5 pages in the 12 by 12 format left, and I will be finishing those during this crop, or at least that's my intention. In addition to those 5 layouts, I also would like to finish my 2017 project life layouts, and that I also have prepared for this specific crop. So I'm going to share with you, being that I'm very focused, I'm going to share with you what I'm actually going to be bringing and packing for this outing of mine. It's only 2 days because I have an event on one of the days, so I can't be there for the full weekend, but I do think I'll still get a lot done. I have broken out my categories into kind of 5 categories. I have basic tools, supplies, I call it foundation, tools, and then other. So bear with me as I go through this. So under basic tools, I categorize these things that I always will need for a scrapbooking session, whether it's at home, whether it's elsewhere. So I'm going to run down the list and show you guys what I am packing. For basic tools, I will be needing scissors. So I bring a big hefty pair, a little smaller pair. This one is for like intricate cutting, and then I have my X-Acto knife. So those are my cutting elements by hand. Because I brought my X-Acto knife, I will also be bringing a cutting mat. This is just an example. I actually bring a really large cutting mat with me so that I can work just right on top of it and not worry about doing anything on top of the table that I'm at. So those are the scissors. And then, of course, besides scissors, I also bring my paper trimmers. So I bring 2 of them. I bring a small little one, it's like a little guillotine, and then I bring my big one for bigger 12 by 12 pages. So those are my paper trimmers. Then I get into adhesives. Now, because I'm doing a variety of projects, I like to bring a variety of adhesives. So I have a little tray at home, which I may or may not bring with me, filled with glue dots, skinny double-sided tape. I do have a glue pen. I also have a roller, and then I also like to bring my tiny attacher. So as I consider this kind of adhesive because it just makes things stay together. So that's what I consider adhesive. I always bring extras for my tiny attacher. Oh, and I also bring an extra blade for my paper trimmer because you just never know with that. In addition to all this, I also like to bring my hot glue gun. It is a corded one. I don't have a cordless one, which doesn't matter. I'm fine with that. So I definitely bring my hot glue gun, and I bring a ton of extra hot glue gun sticks. It's my preferred method of adhering things. I also do bring backups for my adhesive rollers, so that's also a very popular item that I make sure I have plenty of. So that covers adhesives. Then I move on to like the smaller hand tools. I make sure to bring my ruler. I make sure to bring my poker, I guess my paper piercer. This end is that sticky end, which will come in handy because of something else that I'm bringing. I also bring, of course, a ton of pens because I just end up either journaling or I just need to write something down. And then I also like to bring my crocodile. I know it's huge. I don't have one of those newer ones where it's just handheld. I spent a lot of money on this, so I really want to make sure I get my money's worth. It punches a small hole, big hole, and of course if I had eyelets, this also does a really good job with that. But I'm going to bring this with me. And I think that covers my basic tools. Oh, I do also bring a plastic trash bag. There are trash cans all over the event, but I like to make sure I have one at my table so that I don't have to get up all the time to get rid of tiny little scraps of things that I don't want anymore. Okay, moving on. Then I go into foundation. Let's talk about foundation. In my foundation, I talk about my albums that I might bring and things like that. So because I know I am going to be scrapbooking 5 different layouts that are 12 by 12, I just make sure to bring these protective sheets. I'm only bringing 3. They're not even the same ones. I'm just making sure I have something to put my layouts in to protect them as I bring them home. So that's one thing. I do intend on bringing my albums that my project life is sitting in. So you can see that some of it's done, but I still have a ton to finish up on the other end. And I am going to bring this one, and I have a second one because my year just takes up 2 albums. And I already actually have put in all the pictures in pocket sleeves, as well as all the memorabilia that goes with the pictures. So I won't be shuffling around looking through all my stuff during the event. I will just be focused on whatever's in the pockets and be using that, as well as, you know, the embellishments that I bring with me. So it's already organized in the sense that I have everything from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, and all the memorabilia are matched up with the specific events. So that's all in here as well. So I'll be bringing both my albums that I have here. You'll see I also have this little mini album. I'm calling this my backup album because if I was so prolific and managed to get all my 12 by 12 pages done, as well as my project life, I want to make sure I have a backup project. This is an album of our home buying process and home renovation, so I will bring this with me. But I have a feeling I won't get to it because I just have a lot to get through with my other projects. But this is my backup project. And then also part of my foundation are cards, because my biggest project are my project life pages. And I have this box full of 3 by 4 and 4 by 6 cards. You see that? So I have a ton in here. These are either collection kits that I have used up and just there are a few left. There's also a ton of other memberships, subscriptions that I've had and leftover cards there, cards I bought individually, and so on and so forth. So a good portion of mine that's not related by collection are in this box. So I will be bring that with me to help fill up my pocket pages, because that I did not do yet. I did not put in any cards, just the photos. To kind of inspire myself to use my supplies and also like just to be excited, I am actually bringing a ton of kits that I have purchased but not touched yet. So this I bought it Tuesday morning at one point and I haven't touched it yet. So I'm excited to also dig into this. I also purchased a ton of planner kits, I think they were, or they're now documenter kits from Studio Calico way back. They had a sale. You could tell this is like the old type of zipper pouches that they had. I bought a ton of them. I haven't used them, so I am bringing these with me because it's just kind of gives me some like surprise happiness when I open and use them. So that'll be kind of fun and exciting for the crop that I can use. And then I have two of these. One is about kitty cats, and this one's about the home. So I am going to save this for my backup project. And then there are tons of pictures of my cat in my Project Life album. Actually, this 2017 was the year we actually got her. So I think I definitely will get use out of using some of these cat themed cards. So that covers like the foundation stuff that I need in order to actually scrapbook, because in my head I could just take all that and wherever my pens went, and technically that's all I would need to do my projects. But of course I like to embellish, so I'm moving on to now my supplies. And my supplies includes all the extras involved in making it more elaborate and layers and all that. So I have kits put together, and these are specifically related to the 12 by 12 pages. I actually am not bringing 12 by 12 paper beyond what's in front of me right now. And I'm also not planning to bring any 6 by 6 paper pads. I'm relying straightly on the cards because I have tons of those and I just want to use them. So because I know how many 12 by 12 pages I am making, that is roughly how many page kits I'm bringing. So I did do a video on making 3 page kits for the Christmas theme photos I have left over from 2017. So I have that in here. I like to put them in these like big plastic bags. And then I do have some of the leftover papers that I had also gotten that I end up not putting in the kits in this Ziploc bag to just kind of give myself some extra wiggle room in case I wanted to use something else. But I will just focus on what I have in my kits. This is just in case. And then I had about 2 more pages of photos that I wanted to make. So I also have 3 more page kits that I'm going to bring with me. And I actually made these way back in April when I restarted my channel, and the filming didn't take, so I ended up not having anything to share in regards to these page kits. So I just wanted to use them and not take them apart. So that's why I have these in there. And that's it for page kits. That is all I have for the page kits I'll be making that are 12 by 12 size. The rest of the stuff is really for the Project Life pages. And the first thing I like to bring, that's what you'll see, is tiny alphas, because the big thickers won't work. Well, they will, but I just don't want to use them. And I have so many of these little tiny alphas, so I'm going to bring my alphabets with me. I'm going to bring sticker embellishments. I kind of have like 2 sets. Oh, so obviously behind my alphas, I also have phrase stickers, so I'll be using those. As for other stickers, I do have a plethora of these big sticker books from all the different designers. These aren't all the ones I have more, but these are the ones I decided I'm going to bring, and it's still a handful already. So that's going to give me plenty of options for that. I also have these Heidi Swapp storyline kits. They're just like tiny little stickers to just scrapbook with. And I have lots of other kits, but these are the ones I felt were applicable. So this one's called Everyday, and this one's called Life Happens. So I'll be bringing these with me as well. As for more, I want to say dimensional stuff, I think this bag might not look that familiar, but the stuff in here will look familiar because these are the embellishments I go through whenever I make my page kits. So these should look somewhat familiar. And they are just as usable for Project Life as they are for my big 12 by 12. So I am bringing all of these with me to the crop. I have more embellishments, obviously. I'm just going to try to focus on using what's in here that I've been using over and over in my 12 by 12 scrapbooking pages. I also have this giant tub. It's technically, I guess, a photo tub, but I use it to store embellishments. And I have a variety of embellishments in here that are flat. So let me show you an example of something that would make sense. So I have lots of frames, and I think I definitely can use frames on my Project Life. So I have like a bunch of different frames. I also have like these little ones too. So I just store them in here, and I'm going to give myself this whole entire tub as well of options for embellishing. And then the last thing, or actually not last thing, a couple more. Lots more actually. And I thought I wasn't going to bring a lot of stuff. These should look familiar. These are the 3 tubs I go through also when I do my page kits. So that's one. This one's of wood veneer. I have tons of it. I have more. Definitely want to try to get myself to use them. And then, of course, you know my big tub of enamel dots. So I will use those as well. And then I have this little one. And I have an idea of something I want to do. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it, but I'm also going to bring Sequins. These are already pre-mixed. And I have tons of these, so I'm going to try to use them in my Project Life. And that is why I also have my fuse tool and a glass mat, because I think I might want to seal some of the sequins in some of the pockets. So that is also additional tool I am bringing with me. But let me finish my supplies. The last thing I have in my list of supplies are doilies. And this is just a little baggie of like 1 or 2 of all the different doilies I have. I have like a whole tray of them. So not to go overboard, I just pick out a couple from each of the different colors, and then I have myself a good variety of doilies to work with. So that concludes my supplies category. I move on to my like extra tools, I guess we would call it. So I already talked about the fuse because I'll be trying to add some sequins to my kit. I also intend to bring I forgot what these are called. I think you guys know it. So I'm gonna bring an ink pad. I'm gonna bring a stamp block, though I don't have that many stamps. I noticed there were a few stamps in these kits, so that's why I'm bringing a stamp block. But I'm only bringing one color, black, simple. And then my inker, my black inker for inking edges if I chose to. So that's one. Then I'm bringing ink more for this little basket. So I have a basket of roller date stamps, or roller stamps. Not all of them have dates, and I'm obsessed with them. It's one of my favorite things that I keep collecting that I probably don't need more of. I did think about bringing only a few, but I want to bring them all. So I am going to bring them all. It's not that bad. It's just a tiny box. So I like to use the date stamps to obviously date my Project Life. So that's why I'm bringing all of those. Then I am going to also bring a few punches. I brought a lot more last time. I have controlled myself this time. Still might think there's a lot. And I'm bringing small ones because Project Life is just like a tiny canvas. So I have a heart-shaped punch, a star-shaped punch, a circle-shaped punch, a banner, like one of those like banner-shaped punches, and this is like a small one too. And then one of my favorite punches is this Martha Stewart star-shaped punch. So that is the one I'm going to bring there. So only five. And then, of course, baby wipes. I use these to clean my roller date stamps, clean my surface area, so I always like to bring these as well. And then, did I mention you need a power strip? Or you might. So, for the crop I'm going to, they do provide outlets near you, and just to make sure I'm not hogging all the outlets, I just make sure to bring my own power strip. I also like to bring like packing tape and duct tape, so I like to tape this to like the top of my table so that it doesn't move, and I can just plug in my phone, my hot glue gun, and that's pretty much it. That's usually all the power stuff that I have. So, but I always just like to bring one just in case. And then I think that covers everything scrapbooking related. How I intend to transport all this would be, I have this plastic tub. It's about, a 58 quart tub. I think I got it at Target. It was like $6. And it has like a latch. So I will fill this, and I also have a specifically scrapbooking travel bag. I know, it's an excessive. I've actually used this many times. It's like my favorite bag for scrapbooking, traveling. I've taken it on vacation, like on a cruise. I've actually taken it on my honeymoon because I of course brought scrapbooking stuff with me on my honeymoon. And this actually holds a ton of stuff. And of course, a lot of stuff is already contained, so I can also use canvas bags to transport everything. But that is how I am planning to roll, quite literally. These have wheels too, to event, because they also, they'll have, I mean, the one I'm going to also has the carts, the hotel carts for us to put stuff on and just get it to our table. So that's how I'm transporting. And then the very last thing, which I'm not going to show, are like the other necessities that I personally think we need. Snacks. I like to bring snacks. Tissues. I will be staying overnight for one night. My phone and the charger, my tablet and charger. Excuse me. And that's about it. So I hope this was helpful in sharing how I think about crops and what I do to plan for them, and how I end up being very strategic about what I bring. This seems like a lot, but it also doesn't seem like a lot. I've seen a lot of people bring a lot of things. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe. I like to share a lot more about my process and my pages, so I hope you guys will join me next time. I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye!